Okay, I'm going to do my best to do you a favor and show you how Inkscape could maybe help you convert your images a little quicker to an SVG. So Inkscape is a free downloadable program, an editing program that I use actually pretty exclusively to create my SVGs. It's great for converting JPEGs and PNGs to SVGs, and I think it has a lot more functionality than Design Space. So this is the program icon. You just go out on Google or Chrome or whatever you use. I'm a PC user, not an Apple user, but I think a lot of this is going to be hopefully apples to apples. Pun intended. Anyhow, you're going to download Inkscape, and once you have it installed, I already have it open here. You're going to open it up. It looks like this. This little outline here just shows you the basic size of canvas to work in, but you can use this whole entire space. In fact, you can zoom way out and use this whole entire canvas. But keep in mind, if you make a huge image, it's going to be a ton of data, and when you go to upload it into Design Space, it's going to be huge. So I usually zoom in here, and you can just use the plus key on your keyboard to zoom in and the minus to zoom out. But I just kind of set it about there, and I try to design within this space. It's not terribly important that you stay like right in it, but it gives you an idea of how big your image should be when you go to save it roughly, so it's not too huge. So once you have it open, you're going to go up to File, and it sounds like you have your notes, your letters saved as JPEGs on your computer. So you're going to go to, instead of Open, you don't want to Open because that will open up a whole new window for Inkscape. You just want to hit Import, and then you want to find your letters that you're going to open. Just do one at a time. I just wrote out a little sample phrase here, welcome to our home. Just wrote it with an ink pen, took a photo, saved it as a JPEG. I don't do anything here. I just hit OK, leave it like it is. So here's my image. Then you're going to, I'll just click and drag it a little bit smaller so it fits within that box. The one thing about Inkscape that's different than Design Space, it's not locked, that aspect ratio. So I'll just show you, if I click and drag it, it will let me distort it, which you don't really want to do. So I'm going to go back to the original here. The way to prevent that is you want to hold the Control key down and then left click and drag, and that Control key will lock the aspect ratio. Trust me, you will forget to do that a time or two because I do it all the time and I know better. Oops, so now I got it a good size here. And then this is worth writing down if you're going to take notes on this tutorial. Control Z. So if you hold the Control button and hit the Z button on the keyboard, that is your undo button. So if you started to resize something and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to hold the Control key down, so now my picture is really squished flat or tall and skinny, just hit Control Z, go back to your original, and then do it again. So anyhow, here is your image. So now once you're on there, you're going to go up to Path here along the top. Click Path, and you want, oops, Trace Bitmap. So that is going to bring up this little dialog box here. Not sure why it has those little streaks on it, but this is where you're going to kind of have to play around a little bit. For your purposes, if it's mostly just writing on a piece of paper, it's going to be a lot simpler. If you decide to play around with this a little more with other images, it takes some trial and error to figure out what the right settings are. Basically, you're telling it how many scans of this image to take to try to capture all the detail in it. Well, this is pretty simple because it's two colors here. Usually this remove background is not checked, but you want to check that box because you want to tell it to remove all of this gray background, and you just want to save the black writing. You could try this brightness and steps. Probably would work for this because it's just a black and white image. Color images, select color obviously, and then the more colors or complexity your image has, the more scans you're going to do. So I think I've gone up as high as like 10 or 12 scans. For this one, I already played around with it a little bit before I hopped on here. So I know that 2 is the best. And then this is I have checked the little live preview box. It's going to show me that it's basically that it's noticing all the detail. You want kind of to use the least amount of scans that won't miss out on any of the detail, if that makes sense. So like if I have a picture with 5 or 6 colors, I'll start with maybe 8 or 9 scans, and then I'll go down, down, down until I can see that, oh, it didn't notice that there was orange here or there was purple there. So I'll go back up until it's got all the detail. For this one, 2 is going to work fine. Hit OK. And you can see that you've got a little outline here. That tells me that now I've got the second layer. If I drag it off, it's picked up my handwriting. So this is an SVG. And this is the original image that it traced it off of. So that would be your SVG for this handwriting. It's going to be different for each one of your letters depending on the person's handwriting style and what writing utensil they used. The thicker the writing utensil, of course, a little bit easier to cut out of vinyl, and I assume that's what you're doing, cutting it out of vinyl. You can see, I'm going to just get out of here and I'm going to delete this because we're done with it now. So this is our SVG. You could just save it like this. That was pretty quick and easy. You can see how there's an area where the ink was a little bit thinner. The ink pen had kind of skipped a little bit, so it's missing a little bit on the R. You could just leave it like that. That's fine. The other thing I noticed is there's a little dot here, here, and here, where again I think the ink pen just kind of skipped a little bit, so it was thinner ink, so it kind of ignored this section in between. I personally, if I were making this SVG for myself, I would take the time to clean those little bumps up. It's not a big deal. You could go ahead and just let the Cricut cut them, but I don't want to save that info, and it's one less thing to have to weed or worry about tearing your vinyl. So the way to do that is with your image selected. You can tell it's selected because it's got the little checkered line around it. You're going to go up to this Edit Paths by Node selector. So it's going to show you every node, which is basically all these little points along the line that kind of create the line that tells your Cricut where to cut. And we want to just get rid of this little blob right here. So I'm going to just hold my left mouse key down, drag it over that, and now it's selected those. While they're selected, I'm going to just hit the delete key on my keyboard and gonzo. And then I'll zoom in again here on the H. Same thing. I'm going to press my left mouse key, drag and delete. And one more, left mouse, drag and delete. So now I just don't have to worry about, I'm going to go back to this regular selector arrow here. Oops. Now I just don't have to worry about those little dots being an issue to cut or weed or worry about it tearing or anything. Again, depending on how complex you want to get, you could leave this like it is. I might, if it were me, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more here. So anywhere there's a node, you can do some manipulation of the line. You can even add nodes and you can delete nodes. When people talk about cleaning up an image, if you go into Inkscape and clean up an image, you have total control over these lines and how sharp and clean they are. You can get rid of little irregularities and quirks. I mean, you can spend hours too on certain images. It depends on how in detail you want to get, but I might drag this down and I'm going to just make it a little wider. So I'm going to double click. Oops. I'm going to try to double click. So I just added a node where there wasn't one before. And I'm going to do that. So now I have to do one more step before this is done, because this right now, this red line here, it's like when you join words in Design Space but you don't weld them. It's telling the Cricut to cut this path, and it's telling it to also still cut this path. So if you left it like this, you'd still have, you know, black vinyl in this whole area, but you'd have this funny little slice in the middle of it. So while your image is still selected with all the little nodes showing, it's still selected, you're going to go up to Path and you're going to select Union, which is the equivalent of Weld in Design Space. So now you can see it joined those two little tails that I overlapped. So now my R doesn't have a little chunk missing out of it. Anyhow, that's a little more detail than you have to do. You can certainly just upload it, trace the bitmap, save it as an SVG, and then you should be good to go. But you can also manipulate and edit a little bit more detail if you want to. So I'll just show you the last couple steps here. So now I've got my image the way I want it in Design Space. I'm going to go up to File, Save As, and I have a file on my folder on my computer called SVG files. I just keep all of my SVGs together. Makes it easier for me when I'm designing. And then I already gave it a name. And the big thing you want to remember to do is click on here for file type, and you're going to just change it from an Inkscape SVG to a plain SVG. I don't know that there's a huge difference. I think it's just a more universal file type. I've uploaded them into Design Space before, having forgotten to change them, and it didn't seem to have any issues. So I'm not sure how big of a deal that is, but that's the way I was taught, so that's what I'm going to tell you. Save it as a plain SVG, give it a name you can remember, save it in a folder you can remember, and then hit save. I saved one copy earlier, but I'm going to hit replace. So now we saved it. If I go to Design Space, upload, oops, it was already there. Browse that. I'm going to go find Welcome to Our Home. And SVGs save with this Internet Explorer icon, which kind of annoys me. I wish it saved with a thumbnail picture, but it doesn't, so just have to remember your file name. I'm going to hit open, and there it is. Welcome to Our Home in my personal handwriting. We'll save it, select it, insert it, and then you can resize it. It is going to look just a little bit thicker on your screen because Design Space always has that little thin black line around everything that shows you where it's going to cut. So it does look a little thicker here than it's actually going to be when it cuts. But that's your image. You can resize it to whatever size you want, and it should not be a problem. Hope that is helpful. I probably gave you way more information or detail than you need to do your project, but I do feel like this would probably help you speed up your process a little bit. Maybe it would be useful for you. And it's a really fun program to play around with, making other fun images and converting JPEGs and PNGs to SVGs and cleaning things up and customizing things. So hopefully that was helpful. Feel free to private message me if you have any other questions or if something didn't work the way I explained it. And good luck with your project.